Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by fear? Maybe it stopped you from chasing a dream or left you questioning every move you make. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience as human beings. It affects all of us, no matter where we come from, what we do, or what we face. But what if I told you there's a way to overcome fear? A way that doesn't rely on your own strength, but on something greater, faith. Today, we're going to explore how faith can be the answer to overcoming fear, a powerful tool that can change our mindset and help us face what scares us. No matter whether your fear is big or small, by the end of this video, you'll learn how to overcome fear with faith. So stay with me, because by the time this video is over, you'll understand how to turn your fears into steps toward freedom, peace, and confidence. Fear. We all know it. That feeling in your stomach, the racing heartbeat, the mind full of doubts. Fear is a natural response, biological in nature. Throughout human history, fear has played a crucial role in keeping us safe, alerting us to danger. But when fear becomes chronic, when it becomes a barrier that prevents us from moving forward, it becomes a real problem. There are fears that limit us: the fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. And worst of all, sometimes we don't even understand why we're afraid. Fear can be irrational, but it still has absolute control over our lives if we don't confront it. And that's where faith comes in. Faith. But what does it really mean to have faith? In many cases, we think of faith only in religious contexts, but faith is much more than that. Faith is trust. It's the belief that, no matter what, there is something or someone holding us up, that we are not alone. Faith gives us hope when everything seems dark. Faith allows us to look to the future with confidence, even when the present is filled with uncertainty. Faith doesn't mean that everything is perfect, that everything will go as planned, or that we won't have fear at all. Rather, faith is the certainty that, even when we don't have all the answers, we can trust that there is a bigger purpose and plan for our lives. Fear, although natural, doesn't have to dominate our lives. When we choose to face fear with faith, we shift our perspective. Instead of seeing fear as an insurmountable wall, we begin to see it as something that can be overcome. Faith gives us the strength to take that first step, even when we feel like we can't. In the Bible, Jesus teaches his followers not to fear. He says, "Do not fear or have faith" in various passages. In Matthew 17 verse 20, Jesus says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." What does this mean? That faith, even in its smallest form, has the power to move mountains, to change our circumstances. If we can trust in something bigger than ourselves, fear loses its grip. Overcoming fear with faith doesn't mean simply waiting for fear to disappear. Faith involves action. It means taking a step into the unknown, even when fear is still present. Faith is not the absence of fear, it is the courage to move forward despite fear. A good example of this is the story of David and Goliath. David was a young shepherd, and Goliath, a giant warrior, terrified an entire army. David had no logical reason to face Goliath. He was smaller, less experienced, and at a disadvantage. But David had faith. Not in his own abilities, but in the power of God. With his faith, he defeated the giant. Just like David, faith can give us the courage to face the giants in our own lives, whether that's the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or the fear of not being good enough. So, how can we apply faith to overcome fear in practical ways? Here are some steps you can take today. Acknowledge the fear. The first step in overcoming fear is acknowledging it. Don't pretend it's not there. Name it. Is it the fear of failure? The fear of rejection? Acknowledge it, and then give it to God in prayer. Replace fear with truth. Fear thrives on lies, lies about who we are, what we're capable of, and what's possible. Replace the lies with the truth of God's word. Scriptures like, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you," Jeremiah 29 verse 11, remind us that God has good plans for our lives. Take small steps of faith. Overcoming fear doesn't happen overnight. It's about taking small steps forward, even if it's just inching your way toward your goal. With each step, trust that God is there, guiding you. Surround yourself with encouragement. Fear thrives in isolation, but faith connects us. Surround yourself with a community that lifts you up. Whether it's friends, family, or a church group, lean on others for encouragement. Focus on the present moment. Fear often arises when we worry about the future. But the truth is, we only have control over the present moment. Jesus said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Matthew 6 verse 34. Focus on today, and trust that God will take care of what's ahead. Let's take a moment to hear some real-life stories from people who have used faith to overcome fear. For some, it was the fear of public speaking. For others, it was the fear of failure in starting a business. But the one thing they all have in common is that their faith helped them face their fear and move forward. Remember this, you are not alone in your fear. Fear isolates us, but faith connects us to God and to each other. You don't have to carry the burden of fear by yourself. God promises to be with you, to strengthen you, and to guide you every step of the way. So, how do you overcome fear with faith? Start by acknowledging the fear, replacing it with the truth, taking small steps, and surrounding yourself with support. Remember, faith isn't about having all the answers, it's about trusting that God is with you every step of the way. Fear will always be a part of life, but it doesn't have to control you. With faith, you can face fear with courage, confidence, and peace. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, be sure to like, comment, and share it with someone who might need encouragement today. Don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting content. Take care, and remember, with faith, you can overcome anything.